I took my kid to the happiest place on earth that I could afford, Walmart, the other day, right? And my kids don't give a fuck about me or my safety because they say dumb shit all the time like, ooh, Daddy's the hero, Daddy's brave, Daddy was in the army. You know what the army taught me? Just enough to get my ass beat. All right, if you've met me in public, you've come up to me and you've been like, oh, I seen you on TikTok, you're TikTok, whatever TikTok. I get shy and awkward. All right, like I don't like confrontation. I don't even beep my horn. All right, because I'm scared the motherfucker gonna like turn around and bop, bop, bop. How much Tupac in you got? Because I'm not taking 4 to the stomach. I will die. I bruise like a banana. Easy as shit. Okay, so we go into Walmart and now I have this disease where I mind my own motherfucking business, okay? This lady was a wild Karen. She was losing her shit because, like, what she paid for or what she had bought didn't match up what she thought it would be or some shit. I pull out my phone, start scrolling through TikTok. Free plug, you're welcome, TikTok. And my daughter just puts her phone in her pocket, looks up, and she goes, oh, Lord, Daddy, that lady's mad. That lady whipped around, and I'm like, motherfucker. Now, I got 2 options here. I can pretend that kid's not mine until Maury tells me the results, or I can take this Titanic and ride this ship all the way to the bottom of the fucking ocean. And it's been an honor being your dad. Sir, let's take this shit down. I ride or die with mine, bad boys for life. And I was like, maybe you got it in the wrong spot. And she was like, I ain't got time to shit today. I think she meant she doesn't have time for this shit today. Take a laxative. I don't know what to tell you. Relax. We get back in the car. I'm like, what the fuck was that? Now I'm being a badass, all right? And she was like, what? That lady was yelling so loud, Jesus was going to make a noise complaint. She's starting to use references in her story. That's cute as shit. And I was like, now's not the time. I was like, when did she become so gospel? Like, what the fuck is wrong with her? I was like, you keep talking all this Jesus shit and you keep talking like that in public, we're both going to go fucking meet him. You understand that? I was like, no more talking in public. She goes, oh, what? I got to stay silent now? And hit me with one of them faces. They're trying to get me fucking killed, and I just don't understand it at all.
So a little background information. At the time, my boyfriend and I had been together for around 4 years. We had 2 kids together, and our relationship was pretty rocky. Within the first year of us dating, he would cheat on me all the time, and both times that I was pregnant, he would cheat on me also. Now, after I popped out the second kid, our relationship was going pretty well. And if you're wondering why I didn't leave him when he was cheating on me all the time, well, it was mainly because I grew up in a broken home. And remembering how hard it was on me whenever my parents broke up, I didn't want that for them. Well, over the past few months, my boyfriend had been traveling all over the country with his dad, going to meetings and stuff because he was getting ready to take over half the company. Well, fast forward, it's a Thursday, and my boyfriend has a meeting with some associates who flew in from out of state, and later that night we were supposed to get on a flight with our friends to go to the Bahamas. So like I said, my boyfriend had a meeting with some associates who flew in from out of town, and that night we were supposed to be on a plane to the Bahamas with our friends. So while he was getting ready for this meeting, I went and I dropped the kids off early, and he went to this meeting, and I drove our luggage over to our friend's house because they were just going to drive us to the airport. So my girlfriend and I are super pumped to go on this trip, so we decided to start drinking early, and we went somewhere to get drinks. She suggests this high-end place because the guy at the bar has a crush on her and always gives her free drinks. So we're sitting there having a really good time drinking at the bar. So while we're sitting there, we hear a bunch of clapping and cheering coming from outside. So us being drunk and nosy, we go out there to see what's going on. And what are the chances I walk out there and my boyfriend is down on one knee in front of another girl? And I'm not very confrontational whenever I drink, so I told my best friend to just take me back to her house. When we got back, it was around 6 p.m. And my boyfriend tells me that he's just going to meet us at the airport. Part 3 about how my boyfriend proposed to another girl right in front of me. I know this is late, but better late than never. So like I said, we left, I went back to her house, and my boyfriend has the audacity to text me, I'll just meet you guys at the airport. So my best friend's like, what do you want to do? Do you want to go beat him up? Of course I said no, so I told her and her boyfriend to just go to the airport while I figured out what I was going to do, and to not say a word. Which was hard for my best friend because she was confrontational as fuck. So I texted my boyfriend saying that I was sick and I just wasn't going to go to the Bahamas with them, when in reality I was packing up our whole house, leaving him with only his clothes and his shoes. So I put all the stuff in storage and I just decided to move back to my mom's house. And yes, this was in a span of a few days. So the whole time that he was gone, I was acting like everything was okay. On the last day of the trip, I sent him a text saying that I knew about everything. And I said I never wanted to hear from him again and I never wanted him to see the kids again. And he took that quite literally. I never got a text back. Well, 4 months after all this happened, I soon find out that he got a new house in North Carolina with his new wife and they have a daughter on the way.
So I just had a meeting with my principal. Basically, last week I decided I was going to leave public school because I have really bad anxiety now and I can't eat anymore and I've been losing a lot of weight. So for my physical and mental health, me and my family decided it was best for me to leave public school. But apparently it was not as easy as we thought to leave public school and do online school. So Friday, me and my mom went into the principal's office and my mom was like, this is what's gonna happen. My daughter's never stepping foot in this high school ever again. She's doing virtual and that's the end of the story. And the principal was like, okay, yeah, that's fine. We want what's best for your daughter and if you think that's virtual school, then go ahead. So we're like, okay, cool. So my mom's like, okay, here's my daughter's birth certificate and all of her certification. Unenroll her in your high school right now. And they're like, haha, your daughter actually can't unenroll from our school. And my mom's like, why can't she unenroll? And they're like, she's not allowed to unenroll in our school until she's enrolled in a new school. Ah, well, that doesn't sound too bad, does it? Well, there's an issue. My online school doesn't accept enrollments until October 13th. It's October 4th. That's 10 days that I'm going to be missing school, missing assignments, all that stuff. That's 10 days I'm technically still enrolled in my current high school. That's 10 days I'm not going to school because of my mental issues. So my mom's like, okay, then what do we do for those 10 days? And this is what the lady told us. She said, well, just have your daughter come to school for those 10 days. And my mom was like, she can't. She literally can't. There's girls threatening to fight her. She has really bad anxiety. Like, she can't go back. And this is what the lady told my mom. She said, oh, just have a friend walk with your daughter to class. That should fix everything. Boy, what? What is that going to solve? What is that going to solve? Oh, my friend's gonna walk with me to class, anxiety gone. And then this is what really was the kicker. She was like, just have your daughter stop posting on TikTok for 10 days as well. How is that gonna help me? How is that gonna cure my anxiety? What? This is my job. I can't just take 10 days off of work. So my mom was like livid. She was very, very mad. So today we went into the principal's office again and we got the really, really nice principal. I literally love him. And my mom basically told him the situation and me and him had like a deep talk about mental health. He gave me so much advice and he was like, just have your mom call you off for those 10 days. We won't send a truancy officer, nothing. Do your work online. If you have a test, you might have to come in for like one class, but that's it. And basically told me that if I want to come back my senior year, I can, but my mental health should be like my main concern. And if I think virtual school is better for me, then I should do that. And he was just so freaking nice. So I'm officially done with public school. Like today, I'm done. I'm out. I'm a little sad because I won't get a prom or a homecoming. But I think mental health takes number one. So if you're struggling at school, your mental health is deteriorating, talk to your parents about it because your mental health is number one priority. I'm literally never going to the OBGYN again. No. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not going back. So basically, I have like a really bad period. Like my period is so bad that I've been in the ER multiple times because of how bad my cramps are. And like the pain from the cramps is so bad that I've gone unconscious. Literally lost consciousness because of how bad the pain was. So, you know, they told me to get on birth control. But when I started to take birth control, it like messed with my mind bad. Like I felt like I wasn't real anymore. It made me dissociate. It was bad. I gained a lot of weight. It was just not a good time. So I stopped taking it and dealt with the pain. But obviously the pain got to another level to where I literally could not take it. And at this point, I'm like, okay, my period cramps should not be this bad. This is not normal at all. Like I think I might have PCOS or like something else going on down there. But all I know is that my period cramps should not be this bad. It's not normal. So my mom sets me up an appointment at the OBGYN, hopefully to get like an ultrasound or just like test to see what's going on. So the day comes for my OBGYN appointment. And as we are driving there, I tell my mother, I'm like, Mom, I cannot get a pelvic exam. Like I literally, I can't do it. Like mentally, I cannot do it. I will throw up everywhere. Like I can't do it. And my mom's like, oh, don't worry, honey. You won't have to get one. So I'm like, okay, cool. So we're in the waiting room waiting to get called into the little doctor office to get checked out. And I start my period. I literally started my period at the OBGYN. Like, what are the odds? So they call us into the office. The nurse talks to us. I tell her what's going on. And she's like, okay, we'll go get the doctor. And I'm like, okay, cool. And as I'm waiting for the doctor to come into the office, my period cramps start to act up. I'm literally sitting on like the little table thing, curled up in a ball crying. My cramps and we didn't have ibuprofen. We didn't have none of that. And for some reason, there were no menstrual products. So I was also bleeding everywhere. So I'm like, this is good for me, right? Like, this is good for me. How could it get worse? Well, the doctor comes in and I tell her what's going on. And she's like, you taking birth control? And I'm like, no, I hate birth control. And she's like, oh, well, you either take birth control or you deal with these cramps for the rest of your life. You have no choice. Like, so I start crying because I'm like, I don't want to take birth control, but I also don't want to have these cramps. And I also feel like there's something else going on. Like, what? So as I'm sitting there crying, she's like, oh, and by the way, you have to get a pelvic exam. I literally bawled. Like, I've never cried so hard in my life. I look at my mom and I'm like, my mom's like, it'll be okay, sweetie. The doctor and my mom leave the room so that I could get ready for the exam. And my sister comes in and she's like, Kayla, it's okay, chill out. And I'm like, no, I can't do it. And apparently I'm crying so loud that the doctor can hear me. So she comes in and she's like, you don't have to do it if you don't want to. Like, I can't force you, but it is better for your health to get checked out. So I was like, okay, fine. Like, you can just do it. So she gave me a pelvic exam and I didn't talk for the rest of the day. Like, I was so mortified. I didn't talk to my mom. I didn't talk to my sister. I didn't talk to my dad. I didn't talk to my boyfriend. I sat in my room and I played Fortnite sitting like this. Mortified. Mortified.
Anonymous confessions off my chest. Trigger warning. This involves sexual assault. If that bothers you, don't watch this video. Today, I saw the man that saved me when I was being raped. When I was 13 years old, I was raped behind a church next to the middle school I attended. I remember it like it was yesterday. It was a sunny day in the spring, right before school was out for the summer. I had a couple friends I hung out with, and they persuaded me to skip class with them. As we were leaving the campus, security yelled at us to stop, and everyone started running in different directions. I ended up behind the church, alone. As I was catching my breath, a man came around the corner. He was much, much bigger than I was at 13 years old. I was immediately scared and knew something bad was going to happen. He came up to me and said I was the snack he had been looking for. I tried to run, but he grabbed me and pinned me against the wall. I had no chance of escaping him. He was such a big guy. I'll spare you all the details. The assault happened for around 3 minutes. I was exhausted from trying to fight off this man and trying to scream while he was crushing my body with his. I don't remember if I passed out or if my brain had been trying to block out the trauma, but all I remember happening next is another man jumping on my attacker and just beating the shit out of him. I didn't see him coming. I was naked, crying, dirty. I didn't know what to do. The man who saved me ended up knocking out my attacker. He gave me a blanket and comforted me as best as he could until police arrived. The next couple years of my life were just a blur of depression. The man was arrested, my family moved us away from the area, and we never told anyone besides my immediate family. It has been 8 years since this happened. Today, I went to McDonald's near the neighborhood I grew up in and saw the man who saved me that day. I went through the drive-thru and he handed me my food. As soon as I looked into his eyes, I recognized him, but I couldn't tell where I knew him from. He smiled at me and said, "You don't remember me, huh?"